Thank you for being with me for the journey the last few weeks. And I hope you all have been practicing what you all have been hearing here with us. We have today with us Annalise Pierce, who I've known for more than a decade. And she's had a very interesting journey. She's going to talk to us about yin yoga, which we're going to delve into because I'm not very sure what that is either, and also aromatherapy, which she's very, very good at. Good. Hi, Annalise. Welcome.
Hi, Sheetal. I'm so excited to be here.
Same here. Same here. Same
I
here.
must warn you that I'm so like bursting to share stuff, raring to
Glad,
go.
and
Yeah,
we are all happy to receive from you.
lovely. Thank you.
Gratitude for being here and sharing with us. Um, Annalise is also a one-to-one and group yoga teacher, and she's very, very good at it. We're going to ask you first, Anna, how you got into this journey because I knew you from before,
Yes.
and then I've seen the transformation in you in the last decade. So how did this whole journey begin for you to where you are today?
It was honestly, I think everything in my life, just the way my life has gone, has been providence. The universe has been conspiring. And what happened was I was looking to balance my hormones. I'd hit, 40, 41, and my hormones were all over the place. It was, it was hard. And I went from gynecologist to gynecologist. My digestive system was up the pole. So every time I looked for ways to ease myself through, these symptoms of what I realized was perimenopause,
Mm,
it was just like, okay, we have to live with it, or this is something that just happens. And I said, okay, the digestion was equally difficult for me at that point. So I last ditch effort, I went down the road to a yoga Ayurveda shala, and the doctor there, he gave me some stuff to eat, medicated ghee, which I couldn't do. So
mm.
finally he said, "Madam," just like this, he said, "Madam, why don't you try yoga?" And I said, "Okay, what do I have to lose?" And
Amazing.
Sheetal, that was that was the moment for me. My digestion, soothed. The practice was so beautiful. Yin yoga was a whole different, again, a
No, no,
whole different journey.
let's go slow on this. Let's go slowly. So you just joined randomly down the corner. You just joined somebody.
Yeah. So
Which
I
school
was.
of yoga was this?
This is called Inchara. It's a yoga
No, no.
Ayurvedic
Which school of yoga is it?
hatha. It was just hatha
Hatha
yoga.
yoga. Okay,
Yeah, and
okay,
the
okay.
teacher was from SPSA. I now know all of these differences, but then it was just yoga.
Mm.
Yeah, and I would practice 3 times a week with him. It was just
So
so.
tell me, many people do yoga and are satisfied with that. What made you go deeper into it? And then let's discuss yin yoga. This is something I heard only from you. I've never heard
Oh.
of. Is there a yang yoga also?
So we refer to Ashtanga and Hatha as the more yang form.
Okay.
So again, what happened was I was working with women in hormonal distress, because I think for me, I love to share as I learn,
Hmm.
to share what I learn. So
Hmm.
because I was steeped in this whole research as a lay person,
Hmm.
dumbing things down for people like you and me, I, literally chanced again, universe, stumbled upon this a lady called Sarah Avant Stover.
Hmm.
And her book was called The Way of the Happy Woman.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So I exactly. So I got the book and I started to read. And she was talking about this yin yoga. And I said, like, what is this yin yoga? So I
Hmm.
Googled and said, okay, chalo, let's try. And the Thousand Yoga popped up in Bangalore as offering a class.
Hmm.
So, I'm always all about science. So I was there. That Saturday weekend class, I was there. And I was already looking to, practice more yoga, be able to help the women that I was working with. I landed up on the mat that day, and for some reason, I was crying. I was
After or before?
in the class
Oh,
on the mat,
wow. Okay.
and I'm not usually very, I don't think I have a lot of stuff that I have to. Look, anyway, I'm usually quite happy-go-lucky like this, and I
Yeah.
was crying, and I was like, this is so cathartic. I felt good.
Yeah.
And then I kind of opened one eye to see, was anyone looking at me crying? And the teacher had this beautiful zen about her. And I said, I want to do that.
Hmm.
I want to help people feel this way.
So, what is yin yoga, and
Huh.
how is it different from the regular yoga we all do?
Yeah. So yin is, we've got about 26 poses that are very, very similar to what you might do in a regular hatha class, a regular yoga class. The difference is we hold the poses for a length of time. A minimum would be a minute and a half. Sometimes we go up to 5. Some
A
advanced
single pose.
a
A single
single
pose.
pose.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The difference being, once you're in the pose, so let's say butterfly. A lot of people know the butterfly pose in yoga. So a hatha or a yang butterfly would be a lot more engagement. You would draw your legs in, you would work on the engagement of the muscle. In yin, you take a much wider diamond
But
and
you
then
stay a bit longer.
you stay longer.
Hmm.
You want to go past muscle. You want the muscles to get out of the way, to stop offering resistance.
Hmm.
And then you get into what we know as the connective tissue.
Hmm.
Bone, joints, ligaments, all that sticky fascia.
Okay. So, is this more for the women than the men?
Equally, again, it also depends on, as you asked, the men might find it a bit slow,
Hmm.
but it has such such value for them, especially if they're highly athletic.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yin has two ways one can use it. One for the physical benefit of strengthening joints, literally unsticking the muscles, so that when you perform a much more active practice, whether it's running a marathon or playing football,
Hmm.
it helps helps the body be able to work with recovery faster, all of those aspects. On the yin side of the yin practice, it's I know the purists will hate me for this, but it's like vipassana on speed.
So it's more restorative.
It's still challenging. It's not completely restorative. In restorative yoga, you kind of just let go completely.
No, I don't mean resting wise. I mean restorative, restoring your tissues, and in
Yes.
that sense, restorative. Okay.
So the
Okay.
men I work with, they love it. They love it
Hmm.
because see, some of the men are also very spiritual. They're wanting to deepen their practice. So they come, to yin with that aspect in mind. So it can be
Right.
meditative. You can go deep inside and you're watching your breath. You're still. So there's just such a beautiful training for the mind.
Right. So I'm getting a little feedback that you're not very audible at points.
Why
Can
is
we,
that? I wonder why.
is your volume on full?
Yeah. Let me just check one. Yeah, it's on full.
Do you want to take your headphones off and see if that's better? Just unplug that. Speak, please.
Is this better?
Yeah, this is,
I wonder why that is.
that's okay. So tell me, is this especially beneficial to women going through perimenopause or menopause?
I'm going to turn my fan down. Maybe that will also help. So, what we work on in yin yoga are energy meridian lines. Can you all hear me better now?
Yes, yes.
So, these are energy meridian lines, just like your nadis,
Hmm.
based in traditional Chinese medicine.
Hmm.
So, what you're doing is you're working on these channels that run through those deep connective tissues,
Right.
which is why you stay for time so that you can
Hmm.
access that energetic line.
Right.
Now when say we're going through perimenopause, menopause, even if a woman has basic hormonal issues, fibroids, you name it, stuff that's going wrong, you're working on 3 specific organ systems:
Mm.
kidney, the liver, and the spleen. And those are nurtured by these, energy meridians. So
Right.
it's really, really lovely and soothing, healing, for us in this stage of life and beyond, even after menopause.
Right. Okay. So now we've got figured out what is yin yoga. So the benefits, if we have to summarize the benefits, what would you call them?
Definitely a beautiful, relaxing, healing, soothing spa experience for the body, number one. It is challenging. It's not comfortable, but once you come out of a pose, you'll experience a bit of it in a chair. Once you come out of it, it's like you've had a nice massage.
Right.
That's one. For the mind, it's especially, the fight and flight response that we live with so much, it's going to help soothe that. And that's a training, it's a discipline for some minds. And the third is the whole, again, the endocrine system, the circulatory system, the entire organ system benefits because you're moving chi, you're moving this prana and energy around.
So is one of the side benefits of this losing weight and inches?
In the long term, I wouldn't say, because sitting on a mat and staying for 5 minutes is not cardio. So when you come here, you're looking at, say, for example, if you have weight collecting around the lower abdomen and the tummy kind of hangs a little bit over, it's an adrenal tummy, a
Right.
stress tummy.
Right.
So I would then work with you on your adrenal, system, the kidney, to soothe again that fight-flight response. So by turning off that, those triggers, those fat triggers, you're helping again the hormones rebalance themselves.
Mhm.
But it's a journey. I wouldn't say, come to yin to lose weight. I
So-
would use.
So would we need to follow a particular diet or anything while we're doing this?
I would say there's nothing specific for like yin. Like in the Ayurveda, you do have certain things that you should and shouldn't do. I am, of course, scratching the surface of TCM, traditional Chinese medicine, and now delving into the food and the herbs. But that's again going to be my second, step up. But the first thing that I know that we want to pay attention to is just, say, for example, the digestive, discomfort that I talked about. Now, you want to be able to work with your digestive system and give it warm foods. So on a typical, so that was different for me because I love salad. I love my salad. But I realized that the salad in this system wasn't doing much for my stomach chi. So there are foods and there are certain tastes that are associated with the organs that you're working with. So it's a beautiful science. It's like Ayurveda. It's
lovely. So
Yeah.
if I come to you saying that I have a gallbladder stone, so I'm thinking this is connected to the liver, obviously.
Yes.
So you will work out a plan for me where we are doing a mix of yin yoga, and you will tell me which foods will help and not benefit it also.
I won't be able to guide on the food aspect because that's not my area of specialty. I would maybe direct you to the functional nutritionist that I work with, Simran Gosain. So she'll be able to help you with, what kind of cleansing, cleaning diet you want. I would help you on the emotional, energetic, and the physical, spiritual aspect of it.
When you say emotional, since you're talking emotional quotient, how would this help me with my emotions?
Are you guys ready for this magic?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is what like totally sold me on yin, right? So we have these 12 energy meridians. Each of them fall under 5 elements like you have in Ayurveda. Now, each organ of these systems holds an emotion.
Right.
Yeah. So for example, the liver is believed to hold on to the emotion of anger.
Right.
It can be frustration right up to rage, and anything in between. The gallbladder helps give you courage, gives you curiosity, gives you, the gets things done. So again, in TCM and yin, each of our organs have an avatar. And it's so beautiful. The liver is like the great general. Then he's the guy with vision. So it affects your eyes, you know, it affects your nails. So when you're looking at getting something off the ground and you feel, you're not able to get that movement going, you want to work with your gallbladder because that's the support, the Robin to your Batman.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I don't have enough time to tell you all everything. I just want to tell you everything.
So when you say, so emotionally, I would work on my gallbladder and liver?
Yeah.
Through yin?
True, yeah.
Oh, okay. So you have different postures and different timings for each posture to work on those certain organs, you say,
Yes.
right?
Organ systems.
Organ systems, yeah.
In
They are all
Chinese-
interconnected. Yeah.
Sorry, Sheeta?
They are all interconnected, so they are systems. Yeah.
And in TCM, they don't see the organs as organs like we do in Western medicine. It's more functional. So it's a cyclical kind of medicine, not a linear
Yeah.
medicine.
Yeah.
So if I was working on your liver and your gallbladder, I wouldn't forget about the others because we have the control and the creation cycles. It's just, and people come to the mat in class. Some of them want to know all this back end stuff. They love some of those cues. Some of them like, I don't care. I just want to feel good. So there's a little bit for everyone.
I have to warn you, when I join you, which is a when, not an if, it's a when I join you, I will have a zillion questions.
Lovely.
So be ready for that.
Lovely.
So do you want to talk about the poses now, or should we speak about the aromatics and then come back to the poses?
We can do, I think we'll end with the poses. So if someone's like in a state of Zen, they can stay in that state, beyond.
I know you've also done majored in your NLP, and you've done a lot of other parallel sciences that you have. Do you employ all of that?
Yes.
When you're dealing with your clients?
3 main modalities. So it's the yin, which is the embodied practice. So yin, for while you're on the mat or while you're working with me, I use the NLP conversationally or metaphorically.
Okay.
So say you're dealing with it's like you want to trust your body's wisdom. You don't want to get too anal or too intellectual about what's going on.
Yeah.
So when you're in that pose and say you're in the 3rd minute, something might just come up, an emotion might come up, a memory might come up, and you might remember it for a moment and it might just pass.
Right.
Now, when you're in this space and I'm talking about gallbladder, meridian, I might talk about courage, I might talk about strength, I might nudge you in certain metaphoric ways to explore areas in your life where you need it, where you might not be, exerting that enough.
Right.
Now, it's the conversation, it's the practice. The oils are what I use to also give you that extra little lift. It's a beautiful complementary science. Do you want me to talk about the oils now?
Yes, we will. Are we talking essential oils? Are we talking Bach flower, or what are we talking?
Essential oils.
Essential oils. Okay. So let's.
If I didn't have you asking questions, I would have gone off on some crazy tangent.
I know. That's the job of a moderator. With some people, I have like a code, like, if I see you wandering off, I'm going to scratch my nose.
Okay.
But with you, I don't need to do that. You're okay. I want to know, so when we talk about essential oils, I received, you used to make these creams, I remember.
Yeah.
The balms or the creams for each part.
The chakra potions.
And Meenakshi had gifted that to me. And it was really, really such a beautiful gift. And it was very effective, I must say. Very effective. So are you still making those?
I do, Sheeta.
So that you can show us that at the end of this. Let's talk about your essential oils and the therapy.
Lovely.
I can see the basket behind you there, the box.
So for those of you who don't know, what essential oils are, and again, how to set what we know of them apart from what they possibly really are. right? So a lot of us know of essential oils as the fragrant oils that we put in a diffuser, some of the stuff that we associate with the spa. Right? Now, if you're looking at the therapeutic value of essential oils, you want to be getting the real pure plant extract.
Right.
So it's not like a bark flower, potion, and yet similar in its modality, the healing modality. I know bark flower works on frequencies and vibrations of the plant material. This is on extraction from a part of a plant.
Okay.
So these are highly volatile, aromatic compounds.
Okay.
And we get them from any part of the plant.
Hmm.
Now, these essential oils literally do for you what they do in the plant. I'll give you an example. So, frankincense. So, frankincense is a resin that comes, it's like a gum that comes out of the bark of the tree.
Yeah.
Now, when you look at the tree in its natural habitat, you'll find that the gum oozes out really slowly from the bark.
Okay.
And that's what it does for you. When you use, a drop, even a drop of essential oil, or even just smell the frankincense, the asli wala frankincense, it goes right into the limbic part of your brain. In 2 seconds, it's there. In 2 minutes, it starts to enter the bloodstream. In 22 minutes, it's all over the body, intuitively doing what it's supposed to do, which is to slow you down.
Wow. Okay.
Then,
so see, I've got a lot of essential oils from a lot of people saying sniff it, this, that. They've never explained this bit that it's doing exactly what it does for the plant. Oh, awesome. So it knows when to work and where to work.
I have such beautiful teachers. My first teacher, who made me fall in love is, and every one of you can look her up. She's called the Secret Healer, and her name is Elizabeth Ashley.
Is she on Insta?
She's on Insta, but she's more, what do you call it, present on Facebook. Much more.
So she's called Secret Healer on Facebook?
Healer, yeah.
Nice, okay.
Beautiful literature, deep dives into the science, and makes it very easy to comprehend.
Yeah. Super. So now, is there a way to use them?
Yeah. You have to be careful.
Let me ask you something. I have 1,000 essential oils here for diffusers. Is it okay to use any oil for a diffuser, or do we need to be specific? Because I picked up all the fragrances. So are there some that can be detrimental to you?
Okay, so that's like, how much time do we have? I'll give you highlights.
Yeah, highlights.
So number one, there's a difference between fragrances and pure therapeutic grade essential oil. So I only work with the doTERRA, oil, because I've been using oils for the last 7 years, and I know like wine. It's like fine wine. You know good oil when you know it, when you find it. Now, fragrant oils are more synthetic. They've got it's chemically made, right? So those are some of the oils that typically fragrant oils that you use in a diffuser. You can still use pure therapeutic grade essential oils in your diffuser. You can. The thing to keep in mind is use a diffuser that has that, the vibrational piece, not the heat. So it doesn't change the molecular composition of the oil. So it retains the purity. When you diffuse an essential oil, it manages to get into the air. So remember, it's all through the olfactory anyway. So again, really good. I personally prefer just taking my oil directly to my nose and sniffing, because I find that when it's diffusing in my home, I don't sense it. Maybe I've gotten
used to it.
Too used to it. Now, there are oils that are contraindicated for certain people, certain pets, especially cats and dogs. So there are some oils that you wouldn't use around a diabetic, or there are certain oils you wouldn't use, if you have heart issues.
Like what?
So let's say, for example, I wouldn't use rosemary if someone was epileptic.
Okay.
And that's human, dog, cat. Yeah. So rosemary, because see, some of these oils have different chemical components. And so some of them can do X in your body, some of them can do Y. So you do need to work with someone who knows, especially the more unfamiliar or the less used oils. Like say lavender,
Yeah.
Everyone uses lavender, everyone knows about lavender. Even then, you want to make sure that you've got the good quality lavender, number one. Number two, if you have too much, it can keep you awake. You know lavender as being the sleep oil or the anxiety, anti-anxiety oil, but too much of it can do just the opposite in your system.
That's new for me. I didn't know that. I didn't know.
These are potent Sheetla, I honestly believe that they are living, breathing entities. They have an intelligence. They vibrate at a frequency.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the ones you're getting outside as essential oils for diffusers and all are basically not this concentrated, right? So they're not going to cause us any harm, basically.
Check the labels. Actually, if you're reading labels for your food in the supermarket, start reading labels on stuff you're putting on your skin. Start reading labels on on stuff that you're putting in your home, your cleansing agents. And why are we talking about this when we're talking about emotions? Because again, this is so cool. Okay, I know you know this. When you've got this exposure to toxins, you're again killing the whole balance inside of you. Your digestive system again goes out of whack, and the depression and the low moods, the crazies happen and start there. They start in the gut.
So now when you're saying, now that you brought up a cleanser, home cleansers, we are picking up what is available in the market.
Yeah.
So now what would ideally be what my floor should be wiped with?
Yeah.
If I can't put the other stuff, like phenyl is great, but I find it agitates me.
Sheetal.
You know
Nice
what I
mean? Yeah.
Like Dettol, I mean, it transports me into a hospital immediately.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm very reactive to all of these things. So I'm thinking maybe none of this and just salt water or what, I don't know.
Vinegar.
But is there vinegar? But now when we have wooden floorings and stuff, you can't use vinegar.
You want an oil base for your wooden floor?
Why not?
So you might want to use, so you're talking about mixing of essential oils, right? Yeah. So an essential oil should always be mixed in a carrier oil anyway.
Yes.
Some oils can be used directly on the body. And see, now when I talk, I only talk doTERRA because we have the science, we have the research. So, I can tell you which of the oils in doTERRA can be used absolutely neat or can be put in water.
What was that? What? doTERRA means what?
doTERRA are the oils that I use.
Okay, it's a brand.
It's a brand. It's one of the leading essential oil brands in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And they're coming into India. So I'm like, I'm a wellness advocate for them.
Okay.
So I'm, a certified specialist for doTERRA oils.
Okay.
Now, if I give you advice on oils, remember I'm giving it to you from this tested, pure perspective. If you buy stuff off Amazon, you're not always going to get the right quality.
Right.
So when I have, say, a wooden floor, and I want to also rewind a little bit to what you said about the hospital, imagery. Now, when you're using, say, Dettol or any particular other fragrance, it's stirring up memory from that limbic brain, from the archives, which is what essential oils do.
Yeah.
They work with your emotional centers. Mm-hmm. So if you want to use something different that you like lavender, I don't like. It reminds me of an old auntie and her, what was that soap we used to get in Yardley's?
Yardley, yeah.
It just doesn't work for me.
It's still quite popular.
It is, but it just doesn't work for me. So if I was wanting to do like a sleep or anti-anxiety oil for me, I would choose maybe Neroli. That's me. That kind of sits with my emotional bank better.
Yeah.
So take whatever oil you want to use to clean your wooden floor. It could be what is that they use on the floor? Linoleum, no, not linoleum. What is the thing that they use to wax the floor?
I have no idea.
So, Sajal, Sejal?
Sejal is saying there's Young Living, a USC, also has pure essential oils.
So Young Living and doTERRA are
Tested also.
yeah, are two of the oils from the US. Now,
Thank you. Sejal.
yeah, you might, I'm trying to remember the oil base for you to be able to wax your floors. Add a drop or two of your essential oil.
Citronella. Citronella is what I like.
Very good. You can use that to clean your floors because it also will keep the bugs away.
So that's the only phenyl that I like, which comes from Ooty or Kodaikanal. You know, it has that citronella fragrance in it. That's the only one I like. So I just brought this up because, you know, we're talking about oils and emotions. It really triggers things. Fragrances are the first thing that trigger memories and emotions.
Absolutely.
So it's yeah. So let's talk about your oils now. Let's talk about your oil.
In fact, when you're talking about healing, right? You're looking at using essential oils to heal. Now, I have a lot of people coming to me with crazy chronic complications, really complicated stuff. There are times I don't want to touch that because they're on so many different medications. So I'll only go with how they want to feel. I'll only use an essential oil that is, you know, something that's neutral to change the way they feel about, you know, say if someone's in chemotherapy or if somebody is, you know, dealing with something with their kidneys. I'll pick an oil that is safe, heavily diluted, that they can just change the mind. Just that response.
That makes a lot of difference because it changes your attitude then.
Yes.
And if you're in a more positive frame of mind, thanks to your attitude and emotions, the healing is better. It's all so interconnected.
Exactly. That's what Elizabeth taught me.
Yeah.
You know, and I thought like, because people are on meds anyway, right? And we don't want to diss medical science. You know, you need Western medicine when you need it. You're looking at these as natural solutions for your home, for just your, you know, just your spirit, to soothe your spirit.
Right. Yeah.
So let me show you a couple of things, Sheetal. How much time do we have?
We have time, don't worry.
So I'll show you this one thing. Okay, so everyone knows the lavender, right? Now, when you're looking at, say, sleep, let's take sleep as or lack of as a sign of emotional, you know, despair, right? So you could be losing sleep because of just your circadian cycles might be out. You know, you might be working late nights, you might be staying up or waking up too late in the morning, whatever. So your sleep and your wake cycle could be out of balance. That could be one reason. You could be losing sleep because of the moon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So new moon tonight, full moon, it can throw people out of whack, right? So sleep could be again maybe because you're stressed, and there might be this whole cortisol rush, the wired but tired kind of feel in the night. So when someone says, "Oh, you have sleep issues," here, take lavender. It might not be a one size fits all.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Yeah. So you want to say, okay, you know what? What are the different oils that can help with sleep? So lavender is one. And like Sejal was saying, Young Living, doTERRA, they've kind of got a nice chemistry going, and they've brought out blends. So sometimes you don't need to reinvent the wheel. The blends are so strategically, done that that you just need to use this because it's got everything that you might need in one little,
So they're selling it as a blend for sleep.
For sleep. So Serenity
is stress, you'll have for this, you'll have for that. You'll have different blends already pre-made.
All pre-made. Apart from the like the what is the word? Apart from the single oil, so you'll get like lavender as lavender, but you'll also get it in a blend like this, which is called Serenity.
Okay.
Serenity is such a beautiful oil. It's just soothing, calming, because it's got, when you mix oils, it's like you were talking about emotions, and we're still talking about emotions. And emotions can be smelled, emotions can be tasted,
yes,
emotions can be seen, heard. So when you mix a blend, you want to mix it like a musical choir.
Lovely. How lovely.
You want to have high notes, bass notes, you want to have middle notes.
Right.
So that's what you take, and that's what I do when I mix my one-on-one potions too. So serenity, lavender. Now, some people don't like that sweet smell that lavender can have, and so there is the neroli, which is the orange family.
Hmm.
Now, you can pick any of the orange family for soothing, the heart. You can pick the orange family for the adrenal system. Mandarin is great as a tonic, not like a tonic, but a tonic for your adrenal glands, for your respiration, because when you're stressed, you tend
Right.
to.
Yeah.
So if you are the orange type of person, keep an orange in your home. Bergamot is great for depression.
Hmm.
Neroli is lovely to lift you up, and these all are from different parts of the plant.
So how do we use these? Are they on rollers? Are they rollers?
The roll-on, so this is
Roll-on?
pre-diluted already. You
Okay.
can also get like this is complete single drops, 2 drops, whatever you want, and you can put it into your carrier oil.
What would be your best carrier oil?
I love jojoba.
Olive oil?
Olive oil is nice. I prefer jojoba because it's just kind of nice walnutty.
Which one? Which
Jojoba. It's otherwise spelled jojoba.
Jojoba.
Yeah,
Okay.
jojoba.
Okay, jojoba.
Yeah. doTERRA has a coconut oil that is fractionated, which means it remains at liquid temperature, liquid form, no matter what the weather. And it's
Which
got
brand?
no smell. doTERRA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we use their fractionated coconut oil.
Is this brand available everywhere or only with you in Bangalore?
Only through wellness advocates like me.
Okay.
Yeah. We are a team in India. We're coming into India. Our product center should be up and running in Mumbai, hopefully end of the year.
Lovely.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, if we need something, we come to you for the oils, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you're saying you have pre-made ready roll-on ones for sleep and for all of these things, right?
Yes.
Okay. So which points are they best rolled on to?
Good questions, Sheetal. Anywhere where it can. So again, your skin is your largest organ, and so anywhere where you feel okay, there's going to be like pulse, you can get to the pulse points. You can even put it on the bottom of your feet. Sometimes if there's a fragrance you don't like, but the oil is going to be really good for you, put it at the bottom of your feet, and it gets makes its way into the body. And again, wherever there is a fatty part of you, because again, oil will dissolve in oil, so you want to put it on fat cells. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And also closest to the organ or the place where you want the soothing. For example, in my perimenopausal roller coaster, I would get these palpitations from hell. And I realized it happened certain times of the month. It was linked to, like the moon. So I would mix something with ylang-ylang. So I would
ylang.
Yeah, you need a very diluted amount. So bergamot, ylang-ylang, you need certain oils. You need really, really diluted amounts. So a dash of ylang, it's great for palpitations. I put a dash of ylang, mandarin, and rose.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I have it on my yoga blocks when I practice. So I always have these are cork blocks. You'll see my little spot. So I have my essential oil, on my block.
Lovely, so nice. So I know that aromatherapy works. I've used Bach flower, I think, a decade ago. So, and the beautifully blended colors, and Bach flower is very pretty. It's also very visually very appealing. So we'll do that on another day with somebody else who's a specialist in Bach flower. But tell me now, so how often are we to use these? Is there a time?
You could use essential oils when you need it. So in the moment when you're feeling a bit like, you can use them there. You can use it as a course. So you're building up certain, immunity, for example, today's climate, right? So from the last year and a half since COVID, every time, I had like this scary throat ache or something like that. Now, I've never used oils internally because it's not done. I mean, oils don't mix in water and it can be very, very harsh on the system. So I was already with doTERRA in February. March, COVID, was like all over, and throat. So I messaged my mentor and I said to her, I said, what do I do? She said, take this one drop of On Guard. It's our immune blend. Take one drop of On Guard into your throat. And I was like, okay. But then I said, what's the worst that can happen? So I did. I took that one drop. And it's become almost like a nightly ritual for me.
Okay.
Just one drop of On Guard because it's got clove. It can be very, very pungent. So if you don't want that pungency, you can put a drop into some water and then swallow it.
So it's a spicy blend.
It's very strong. It's very hot.
Yeah.
You want to be careful with the oils you use. You want to be careful with the dilutions you use. You want to respect these, oils. You really want to respect these oils.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And see, your liver has to, flush out anything that's extra in the system. So you don't want to overdo it either. I mean, enough is as good as a feast.
Right.
Yeah.
So Anna, in the chat box, if you can just put in your details to how people can connect with you.
I do that.
Great. And
Right away?
Whenever. Today, before we end the session.
Sure.
That's lovely. Anything else you want to add to this, or shall we move on to the poses? I know there's a lot, but is there anything that is essential?
One more thing. Okay, so since we're talking emotions, okay, and this is for every one of you who wants to dive deeper, if something here has driven you down this rabbit hole like I've gone. So we have something like, like the emotion wheel. There's a book written by one of our teachers in doTERRA, and it's called Essential Emotions. It's available in e-version also. Now I'll tell you why I love this so much, Sheetal, is you look at in the book, there's an app also. You look at the pain body first. So you look at where you're, like Louise Hayes, and you know all of this, right? So your body's manifesting dis-ease because of something that we are holding on to. So you identify where the pain is, then you flip a couple of pages and you go to, what emotions could be trapped in these parts of the body. And then when you're looking at the emotion that you feel, you think, okay, it's not anger, it's rage. So you go to rage, and under there are oil suggestions. Then you flip to each individual oil, and it gives you an insight into these oils as far as the whole psychology of the oil.
Wow.
Yeah. So petit grain is known to also help with the sleep. So I looked at the sleep combo for you, and I said petit grain for sleep. But petit grain is also for helping you break, generational ties that are keeping you bound. And for some reason, you might not know why you're struggling with a certain phobia, or why you're struggling with a certain compulsion or sense of responsibility, etc., etc. Wow. Petit grain says, I know where this is coming from. Go to bed.
Wow. That's really interesting.
I knew you'd like that.
What is the book again?
So it's called Essential. I'll put it in the chat box.
Yes, please.
Essential Emotions. It's a must-have, especially if you're a little, like deep diver like me.
Yeah.
Essential Emotions is an app, and it's available this is available in an e-version, like a PDF ebook. So I've got the ebook, I've got the hard copy, and of course the wheel.
That's very helpful because you're working with oils, but how does that help us?
Beautiful, because see, if you're the kind that wants to build a natural solutions to your physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, well-being, and you're building, say, a library of oils. Like this is my library. In the cupboard at the back is oils. And my son lives in the same building. Sometimes he comes up and he just picks up something he wants and it's gone because he knows, okay, mama can get more. But it's that you don't reach for headache tablets anymore. You don't reach for pain balms anymore because you've got the most natural ways to fix it.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So if you're that kind of person, really understanding your oils, even if you pick 5 and say, I have to have these are the must-haves. Understand them fully.
Right, got it.
Yeah. Yeah, because one oil can do, like lavender can also fix pain, not just sleep. It's also great for pain.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Sheetal, it's got different chemicals. Na? So one of the chemicals here, the chemical families, right? So one of the chemical components of this will help the sleep. One of it will help the pain.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Again, something I'm coming to you for soon. Lovely. This is a topic that has no end and no beginning and no, it's just ongoing. I'm sure
I'm
you're
only
still learning.
scratching the surface also, you know. I know there's miles to go before I sleep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's just a small peep into aromatherapy. It's not as simple as we've known it to be. Like Blossom Kochar is very commercial. I've picked up a lot of her oils. They're great as diffusers and stuff like that. But there's so much more to it as a science,
Yeah.
which is what I wanted to get to today. That, it is a therapeutic science.
Yes.
It's not surface level. It's not just something that's a fad. It's not something that's superficial. It has a lot of deep impact on each of us. So
But also for the record, I don't want y'all to think, oh my gosh, it's too complicated. I don't want to go near oils. It's simple. You don't have to go crazy like me. You can, as I said, you can keep it very simple and
Yeah.
get the most beautiful. Like for example, if you just say have your lavender, you have a peppermint, and you have a lemon.
Yeah.
You just have three. You can mix and match. It's like your three colors, na? And you get purple, and you'll get yellow, whatever.
Yeah.
But you say lavender and peppermint together, I get my hot cold Bolani effect.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh God! Wow.
Yeah. Then I'll put my peppermint and my lemon, and I get a nice respiratory blend to help with whatever sniffles I might have.
Like a Vicks.
Like a Vicks.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, Sheetal, I wish you lived next door.
I'm wishing that too right now. I might have been half healed by now. Lovely. So we'll put your details into the chat in here and in the comments there. Neelam will post it from here into the comments on Facebook where we are going live on the Zyra India page. And we will.
That's my Insta.
Super. On Insta, yeah. Let's get on to the poses today for the yin yoga, which all of us can do at home, and just tell us simple stuff that people who have never done yoga before can do without hurting themselves, and the benefits that they'll get from it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And just to warn everyone, I can see your screens. Just to warn you all, it's not going to be like initially you're thinking, hey, we do these poses in hatha also. But just stay with the stillness, stay with the time, and stay with the softening. That's what will matter in a yin practice. Those are our three tattvas of yin yoga.
Right.
So whenever
maybe you can tell them what's the best time for them to stay in that pose.
Yes, I'll walk them. How much time do I have? About 10 minutes?
Around 10 minutes. Yeah.
10 minutes, huh? We might only need about, say, 10 or 7.
You have 10. Yeah.
I'm using a chair just so that if you all are sitting in your chairs, you can you hear me from back here, Sheetal?
Yes.
Awesome. So what I was thinking of giving you all is work for the shoulders and a little bit of work for the hip.
Yeah. Perfect.
Now, if you have a cervical neck issue, remember, don't forward fold the neck. Okay? You want to keep your neck nice and comfortable. You want to keep length in the neck. And again, when we get to the hip, avoid the forward fold if you have lower back issues.
Okay.
So our first pose is, and also remember, you have meridians, these energy channels running through the body. So we're going to work on some of the upper body meridians, particularly your heart. Make yourselves comfortable. You might want to close your eyes. Just take your time. Take your time to just settle down. I know I've talked your ears off, but this is time for you now. Just notice where your breath is right now. What's the quality of your breath like? Is it long? Is it slow? What are the exhales like? Are they longer than the inhale? And remember to relax the whole body. You might want to come to the front part of your chair so that you can feel your feet on the ground. You might want to roll your shoulders back. Yin yoga is about being able to find that habit body pattern, that subtle holding of tension that you have in the body. So right now we're going to open tissues in the back of the shoulders. One choice is to do the eagle arms that you might know from your hatha practice. So that's your right elbow into your left and the forearms wrapping around each other, palms touching. Now, if this is not accessible to your body, right, if you're not in the mood to do this, reach across your chest. So bring your right arm across your chest, use your left forearm to draw the shoulder open. So you want to feel a nice sensation like a Goldilocks spot in the back of the shoulder. And once you find that edge, we call it the edge, once you find that, just soften the holding, soften into the pose. Soften the hands, the jaw, the face. Bring your shoulders away from the ears. You want to avoid any tingling or numbness or pain. Stay for at least a minute and a half. Just stay. The heart meridian runs from the armpit down the lighter side of the hand, the inside of the hand, into the little finger. That's your heart meridian. Just opening up any stuck energy that might be in that channel. We're staying for a little less today because we have limited time, so coming out very gently. And you want to stay, once you've come out of a yin pose, you want to stay for a little while in what we call the repose, so that the energy that you had stressed or compressed gets a chance to flow. Let's do the other side. So either eagle arms again or stretch. If you're in the eagle arms and you want a little more juice, you can do the forward fold if your lower back allows you to. The heart meridian falls under the fire element. It's all about finding that balance of joy, passion, love. If energy in this channel is stuck and congested, there could be a tendency to manicness, like manic joy. You don't want extremes either. And along that same line from the inside of the arm into the middle finger is the energy meridian for the pericardium that protects the heart from the onslaught of emotions from different organs. that are doing really well. Take a deep breath in, release, and relax. There's an acupressure point on the same line, which is excellent, Sheetal, and everyone that's watching, especially if you're feeling extreme overwhelm, extreme anxiety, sometimes to the point of feeling that you're going to pass out. So please avoid acupressure points if you're expecting, right? You want to work with an acupressurist or an acupuncturist who will give you the specifics for if you're expecting. Otherwise, you're just getting into the top of the fingernail. I'm not getting too anal on the position. So even if you're squeezing the top of your fingernail and giving it a really good pressure, right? You can stay for 30 seconds or you can stay for a count of 10 or for a minute. So it's just here.
So under the nail bed.
It's on the nail. It's on the top of the nail. Yeah. So on the darker side of the hand is the small intestine, and on the front is the heart. Excellent point for that amount of stress and anxiety. And I'll leave you with one more pose, since I promised you some release. Gallbladder. Yeah. So you're sitting in your chair. Take care of your knee. Okay, be really careful with your knee. Whenever you're doing something like this, the rotation comes from the hip, right? Not from the knee. So you want to move and rest your ankle on top of your leg. It's not on the knee, it's on the fleshy part of your thigh. Now, you want to get into the side of the buttock, which is where your gallbladder meridian runs. And with the amount of work from home, sitting that we do, that again gets a lot of stress collected there. And your hips literally are, the drawer for where trauma, memories, a lot of stress gets accumulated. So here you're comfortable. Flex your foot towards your knee if you want to keep your knee a little more integral. And then lean forward as much as you can. But remember, keep a neutral spine if you have lower back issues. Some people like to just go completely down.
Some people are as flexible as you, maybe.
But there are days I can't.
Yeah.
And that again is your practice telling you, okay, this is where you are today. There is no expectation. Every day is a new moment on the mat.
Right.
So some people think being flexible is an asset or being inflexible is a bad sign. People who are running marathons can be, inflexible because tissue tightens.
Yeah.
So this might be just where you want to be. You're looking to get this juice here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do Zoom calls like this. When I'm not completely,
So I should stay like this for at least a minute and a half.
A minute and a half. You need a minute and a half at least, because these are really, these are yin tissue. And the yin tissues are colder, tighter, more plastic. Muscles are more yang, which is why your hatha practice, works on engaging the yang tissue.
Once I'm done with the right foot up, do I need to do the left foot also?
Yeah, balance the two.
Which meridian is that then?
Gallbladder, both sides.
Oh, okay.
Both sides. So you have the yin side, which is your left side, and you have your yang side, which is your right.
Got it. Okay.
How's your body feeling on the right?
Right is okay. I have an issue with my left knee, so I can't bend it as much. So
come to the edge of the chair and see if that makes it easier.
Yeah.
And you can start by extending this leg out a little bit, and then whatever you do, remember, not just for yin, but whenever you're practicing any yoga, the pose is meant for you to adapt to your body. Again, it's all functional anatomy, not aesthetics.
Okay.
So you don't have to look like, anyone else in the class.
So tell me, is there any pose that we can do to relax the whole body? Acupressure point or anything? We're all so stressed right now. I agree, a lot of the stress is either on your hip or your shoulders when you're working, but there are a lot of people who are not computer or chair ridden, but there's a whole tightening of the body and the stress. Is there anything that we can do to just
Yeah, there are, okay, so again, certain people love the child's pose, certain people like the sphinx pose, some people just love the twist. So I'll quickly run. You don't have to do it with me, but remember some of these poses are contraindicated for lower back issues. So a wide leg child's pose, yeah, really helps release the lower back, gets into the inside of the groin. So we have meridians there, which
Yeah.
is for your kidney. Now you want to work the kidney in order to feel that zen. So this would be your child's pose. And you want to be able to keep cushions between the thigh and the calf, so you can really open up the lower back. The other one that is amazing for literally protecting the kidneys, giving you that sense of feeling more energized, is the Sphinx pose. It's not Cobra, it's Sphinx. So it's yeah. But if a back bend is contraindicated for your spine, this might be hard. This might be difficult.
So you're basically legs spread and your pelvis and your stomach is on the floor.
Yeah, you can even have your legs together. Wherever you feel you're getting a lot more juice here, your forearms are down. You can have your head in your hands.
Yeah.
You can do this to go deeper.
Okay.
This.
So if somebody has a lower back issue, it's not good. It's not a good idea to do this.
If they have, okay, so now when you look at lower back issues also, there are certain lower back issues that have, extensions are contraindicated. Especially if you're pinching on the nerve, you don't want that.
Yeah.
Some lower back, like a herniated disc, you don't want the forward fold.
Correct.
So depending on what's going on with your back, you might not want this back bend. You might want the child's pose instead.
Got it.
Yeah. Or this. No.
Yeah, I find this helps me a lot because I had a herniated disc. This one helps me a lot. This and that slight twist one.
The twist. Yeah.
Yeah. The twist
really loves the twist.
Yeah, the twist is really helpful.
You know why you like the twist? Because number one, it's opening the upper body.
Yeah.
And it's also releasing the lower.
Yeah, I think it kind of works on a whole lot more of the body than the other poses.
Yeah.
Okay, lovely. Thank you so much, Anna.
Sheetal, thank you.
We could have gone on and on and on for another hour, I think. But I'm going to call you.
The beauty of of chats like this, it's like we forget. Sorry guys, I forgot you're not here listening. I just got so caught up, wrapped up in talking.
Yeah, no, I think that's the best kind of discussion there is. So I hope everybody has got something good out of this. We are doing this every Sunday to give people small baby steps and life hacks to make them reach a happier space, whether it's mentally, emotionally, physically, however it works, wherever they need it. So I'm glad we have a few people who've stayed with us right from the beginning. I'm hoping that they help us. Every week I'm seeing the same names quite a bit, which is a great thing for me. I mean, we started small, but do spread the word. And Anna, thank you. I'm going to call you very soon.
Thank you,
for the oils for sure, and for when we can take this on one-to-one. Yes. Another lockdown is coming up, so I don't know when I'm going to come meet you, but maybe we can start something online. Easier.
I'm very comfortable online. As I said, I forget sometimes that we even have this.
I know. Yeah. Done. Thank you so much.
And may the work that you all do, in like literally increase, because I think you all are making such a difference to people's lives.
Even if that's one person, two persons, it's fine. It's just as long as it helps somebody. Thank you. Thank you so much, Anna. I love your energy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Neelam. Any questions, guys? I'm ending this now. Lots of likes and nice thumbs ups and comments on Facebook also, Anna.
Thank you, guys.
Viewership there also. So
thank you. Appreciate this.
Thanks, Anna.
Be well.
See you next Sunday. Bye-bye.
Yes.